In the last part, we have created nav bar and our home section. So let's continue. In this part, we are going to create discover section, and this section is made up of two partition again. So let's go into HTML and we will take a new section after our home section. So okay, this section will take grid class as well. Okay, so let's see what we have. So far we have this heading and this image. Okay, so let's go back in CSS and we will just go all the way to down. Okay, let's comment discover. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, we have given this gap and this gap to our padding, and now let's work with the image and this text. Okay, so go back in CSS. Okay, we will take this discover right and make it display to grid, because we want to make two section as well, one for this image and one for this image. So let's do it. Display grid, and we are going to say column gap 10 pixel and grid template columns, repeat to 1 fr. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, so our heading is looking awesome and we have these two section in images. Okay, so let's work with the images. Okay, so the image is perfect now and our heading and border is perfect. So we are done with this discover section. So let's go back in Photoshop, and then the next is about section. Okay, so about section is basically same as well. We have again two separate partition, and one is for image and other is for text. So let's go back in our HTML and after this section I'm going to create a section with about. So section dot about, this will also contain grid because this also makes of two separate partition. Okay, again we will have about left and right. About left is going to contain an image which is about.jpg, and for alt we can just say about. So let's go back in HTML and see what we have so far. So far we have this image and then we want this text. Okay, so let's do. We will just copy this heading thing down here. Okay, and change this to about, and it should work. Yeah, and then again we will have paragraph. So p dot section text, and I will just copy paste our lorem ipsum. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's see what we have now. Okay, our text is also looking awesome. Let's go in CSS, and then we are going to go a little bit up, and we are going to add our about also here. That's because we want same margin and padding. Okay, so let's see how it's looking. Yeah, pretty much okay. Let's go back in Photoshop and see what we are missing. Oh, so we also need to give this background color in our about. So we can just go all the way to down at bottom, and I can say like about, to mark it the beginning of about style, about section style. Okay, and in here I'm going to say dot about, and let's give it a background color. Okay, so let's go and see. So we are done with our about section and our discover section. So let's go in Photoshop and see what next. So next is popular section. In popular section we have text here in middle, and then 3 items, or you can say 3 foods. Okay, so let's go in HTML, and after this section we are going to start a popular section. So after this section we are going to do section dot popular, and this will not contain the grid class because we are not going to do any partition in this section. So okay, so we need to worry about this text and these 3 items. So go back in HTML and we will add all our stuff quickly. Okay, let's go and see what we have. Okay, we need to make it center, but first let's add those card. So we will have item, and inside this item I will have an image, and I will say popular one, and alt will be just pop foods. Okay, and we will have some text like say pasta. Okay, we will just copy it 3 times and just change the picture. Okay, so let's go back and check what we have. Okay, so we have this gigantic pasta and then this ice cream, and again. Okay, so let's go back in our HTML and we will go in our style. So in style we will comment popular. So popular will also have a padding. Again 6 rem and 4 rem from left and right. And our center wrapper class will be text line center because we want to make text center, and margin auto. Okay, it should be center now. Let's see. Yeah, our text is in center. Let's go back. And we will repeat this 3 times because we have 3 foods. If we go back in Photoshop, we can see we have 3 items, so that's why dividing it into 3 parts. Okay, then I will say column gap 1 rem. Then I will take card, and then I will take the image of it, and I will say text line. I will make border radius 50% so that we can circulate, and max width of 280 pixel. Okay, so let's see now. Looking awesome. Okay, we need to make this text in center as well, so we can go take card and then item, and we can say text line center. Okay, it's looking awesome now. By the way, there's one thing, this is h3, that's why it is bold. So we can do one thing, we can say h1, h2, h3, h4, take all heading and say font weight normal. It should be okay now. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back in Photoshop. So now we are going to make this subscribe. Okay, so let's go back in HTML. So inside the same popular section, we are just going to start a div called subscribe, and we will have a h1 with subscribe, and then we will have a wrapper, and inside this wrapper I will take an input of type email and placeholder, enter your email. Okay, and then we will have a tag, and then we will have a tag with a class of button, and we can say subscribe. Okay, so let's go back in HTML and see what we have. Okay, so we need to make it center here and some styling. Okay, so let's go back in CSS and all the way to the bottom. We are inside the popular section. Let's give it some basic style. Okay, so let's go back in browser and see. Yeah, this is looking okay, just we want to give some gaps. So we will go back and then say dot subscribe, and we can take dot wrapper and then say a. A is the button, if you guys remember, margin left of 0.5 rem. Okay, yeah, we have the gap now. Okay, so let's go back in Photoshop and let's see, we have this testimonial section next. So testimonial section and this popular section is almost same. We have text in center and then we have 2 items here instead of 3 items. Okay, so let's go back in our HTML and then at the bottom after this section I'm going to start one more section and we are going to call it testimonial. So section dot, and we will have center wrapper here as well. Okay, so let's go back and see what we have. Yeah, our testimonial, the text is already in place, and then we are going to go back in Photoshop. Then we have to make 2 items. Okay, so let's take a container here and I'm going to name it testimonial container. So, and this will contain a class of grid because we are dividing it into 2 separate parts. Okay, and now we will have item, and inside this item we will have a class of .dp for user profile, and this will contain a image, and we will take popular one like say profile pic. Okay, and then we will have user comment, so we will take a class of text, and inside this text we will have a p, and inside this p we will have just some lorem ipsum. Okay, looking awesome. And now we will have a username who has given this testimonial. So for name I will take dot name and I'm going to write my name. Okay, so let's go back and see what we have so far. Okay, so we have something like this. Great, we are going to copy it one more time, this item, and we are going to change to 2. Okay, looking awesome. Now go back in the style and all the way to the bottom. So we will comment testimonial Okay, so we will take testimonial container class which is here, and we are going to give it a margin and padding. So we will go up where we have started our discovery section. Yeah, and I will give a comma and then paste testimonial container. Now go down inside testimonial container, and by the way, if we go in Photoshop we will see this has the same background as our about section, so we can just use our about section background. So let's find it. Okay, so it's here, so we can just say dot testimonial this time, not container. Okay, so let's go back and see if we have that background. Yeah, we have that background now, as you guys can see. Okay, so let's go back all the way to the bottom. Okay, now let's give some style to our testimonial. So I will say testimonial dot center wrapper, and I will say padding top 3 rem, so that I can give it some padding here. Okay, And now I will take dot testimonial. Let me copy this thing first, not container. I'm always saying testimonial container. So I will take item and style it. Okay, so let's go back in HTML and see what we have. Okay, looking awesome. Let's style the text now. So testimonial dot text. Okay, and little bit gray color, and we can say line height to 1.6. Okay, let's go and see. Yeah, looking awesome. Now we need to work with this name here. Name should go here. Okay, in our design, if I will show you guys, the name is here, just in the bottom. Okay, so let's go back and take name. Okay, so it should be okay now. Let's see. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so let's see in our HTML what is going on here. So we have this item, and this item has this DP, and then this text and this name. Okay, so name should go inside this text and not outside. So I will just paste it here, and again for this one, just after our paragraph, and it should fix it. Okay, let's go and check out. Yeah, our name is at the right place now. Okay, so let's go back in Photoshop, and now we are done with our testimonial section as well. Now we are going to make this footer. Okay, so for footer we will go in our HTML, and after this section we will take footer. We will have a UL, and inside this UL we will have a href a tag. Okay, link should be empty, and then we will have some social media icons. So for that we have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So I'm just going to copy paste it, and let's go and see if we have those. Yeah, they're here. Okay, after this UL we will have a P. Okay, let's go and check out. Okay, so let's go back in CSS and style it. So let's go all the way to the down, and then we can say footer and mark the ending of footer. Okay, okay, so let's style our footer. Okay, and then we will take our footer and then A and then hover state. So if we hover those icon, we want to change the color of those icon to this one, and then I want to change the scale of them to 1.4, and I'm going to write important so that we never ignore this property. Okay, so let's go back, and if we hover, yeah, it's working. Okay, so our footer is also ready. So if we go all the way to up, so this is our home section looking awesome, and this is our discover section, also great, and this is our about section, awesome, and this is our popular menu, and this is our subscribe, and this is our testimonial. So everything is looking awesome, but one thing we have not done yet, and that is we have not made our website responsive yet. So if I will rescale the window, you can see what is going on here. So you can see everything is breaking, whole UI is breaking. Okay, so let's make this website responsive with just one media query tag. So we will go all the way to the bottom, and then I will comment media query. Okay, and then mark the end of it. Okay, so in media query we are going to target max width of 900. So I will say add media, and I will open my parenthesis, and inside this I will say max width of 900 pixel. Okay, so 900 pixel or less than that. Then we are going to say text body and change the font size to 0.9 em. Okay, it will going to affect whole font of our website, because we have defined a font in our body by default. If I scroll up, default font size is 1 em, and then we are going to say if the screen size is less than 900 pixel, then change the font size to 0.9 em. So everything is going to have less small fonts. Okay, then we are going to take our grid class, if you guys remember which class it is. So if I go up, and in our reusable class, where it is, yeah, this grid, then we are going to say change the display of grid to just block for those devices. So I'll just say display block. Okay, and then if we go here and see, yeah, looking pretty much awesome, a lot awesome. Just we need to adjust this margin, left and right margin. So for that we can say text dot discover all our section. So about, and then testimonial, container, okay, and then popular. These are all our section, and then we are going to say padding from top 4 rem and from left and right 2 rem. Okay, let's go and see. Yeah, looking a lot better now. So that's all guys, we have finally created our project. So let's see in the desktop view, it's looking awesome as always, and in mobile view it's also fully responsive and nothing is going to break. Thank you so much for taking this course. I hope you guys learned a lot of concept, and we have also created a very beautiful fully responsive website. So congratulations to all of you. Thanks for watching.